Hi, I'm Patty Fajkus, and when I came to Covenant Life Fellowship, that was back in 1987, I think, and I came as a single who was looking for more of God, but I didn't really know what that meant. And so I knew several people that went to Life Church. The gal that cut my hair was went there, and had a roommate at the time, and we lived in an apartment complex, kind of that was called affectionately the commune. And so I was watching all these people from Covenant Life Fellowship and watching their lives and just thinking that they were really cool people. And so the church that I was going to, I was as committed as I thought I could be to that church. And I was in a business meeting one night, and there were some things that happened that really made me begin to question government in a church and how that's supposed to be set up. And I had no idea how it was supposed to be set up. So that was something that was in the back of my mind. And then the gal that cut my hair, she said, well, why don't you start coming on Wednesday night? My sister and her husband have a life group, and you could come. You don't have to come to church. You can just come to the life group. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And so I did, and I got to know these people, and they loved me, and they just they watched out for me. They treated me like family. And I had not really experienced the extent of that, and I didn't even realize it until one day I was getting ready to go on a business trip, and I found myself calling my life group leaders and saying, hey, I just wanted you to know I'm going to be out of town. And as I'm calling them, I'm going, why am I calling these people to tell them I'm going to be out of town? Because I was a pretty independent single person. And so I thought, well, there's something different going on here. And so eventually I started going to Covenant Life on a regular basis. And even before, this is kind of going back, but even before I started coming all the time, my roommate and I would go over to Covenant Life for what we called a shot in the arm, because we love the worship and we love the presence of God. And so I already had a taste for what the presence of God could be like and should be like, and so I was really hungry for more of that. Yeah, I was just, and I had some hurts in my life, relational hurts, and so I really needed some healing too. And I found that the leadership there treated me like a sister, like someone that they treated with respect, but also treated with love, and they watched over me. And so I was just, I was really taken by that. And I was really ready as a single person just to dive in and do everything that I could in every way to serve the Lord. And so there was just lots to do. I mean, we were a young, growing church. We were working on the building that we're in now, so there were lots of activities going on, cleaning nights, painting nights, and those have continued forever. But I had never experienced that before. Working side by side with people that you are getting to know is one of the best ways to get to know them. You just talk about life, talk about what God's showing you, and so serving that way was new to me, but I loved it. And just have some great memories and some funny memories too of just different serving things that had happened. And then as time went on, Tony, my husband, he was interested in me, and I was really not interested in marrying him or anybody. I was just wanting to serve the Lord. And so that's a whole nother story about how we got together and how I was really protected during that time by the leaders that were walking me through situations and helping me to grow. And so I didn't feel like, I just felt very taken care of. I never experienced that before. And so I'm trying to think what other kinds of things. I guess we had a really active singles group at that time, and which was great. We served a lot together. We had a lot of fun. We did all kinds of things, canoe trips, and we met in our pastor's house, and we just talked about the things of God, and just learned an awful lot during those days, and really had close friendships with all these other um, gals and guys that were just like brothers and sisters to me. And it was a rich time. And then Tony and I we got married in 1991, and he was already an elder. And so I was really marrying into uh, something that I probably didn't know the whole extent of it, as far as what the responsibilities he had and that kind of thing. But I was all in. I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. I want to serve the Lord, and just whatever that is, I want it. And so we got married, and we began to just serve, and we served. And boy, we've had so many people in our home, hosting them for conferences, and just staying with us for temporary housing. Like Tommy and Rita Hutchins lived with us for a while. The Palmers lived with us for a while. We had an apartment over our home at the time, and so we had Heather Newsom lived there for a while. Stephanie Chris, Buddy Huff lived up there before them. I mean, we had a lot of fun times together with people living in our home. And actually, after, let's see, I think it was 2003, we ended up moving to Heartland. Tony prayed and felt like we were supposed to move to Heartland, and that was hard because we were leaving our home, we were leaving our good friends, and it's only 50 minutes away, but it was like kind of like a lifetime away in a lot of ways. But the Lord really, we felt like we did what we were asked to do while we were there. We served the Lord, and we served the people there. And when it was time to come home, I told Tony, I said, you need to make a decision, because we can't live in this, where are we going to go? And so he was headed to India, and I said, don't come back until you know where we're going. And we'd gone to Pittsburgh and talked to the leadership there. We met Dave Richards in that time frame for the first time, and he just encouraged us to find the place that God is calling us to. And Tony came home from India, and he said he heard that God said we're supposed to go home, which home to us was Kirksville. So we came back, and we lived on Holly Court, which was Larry and Sherry's house. We lived there for 9 months until we were able to get a place to live on our own. And it's just like it's gone so fast. Now here we are. We're gonna celebrate our 34th wedding anniversary. We have 7 grandkids and 1 on the way, and the Lord has just blessed us over and over and over. And we are, it's such an honor to be part of a house, part of a family, and a big family. I mean, we have family in the Philippines, we have family in England, we have family now in India. And I was a farm girl growing up on a farm as a kid. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that life would be like this, that I would have so many good friends all over the world that love the Lord and want to serve him with all their hearts, mind, soul, and strength. So it's an honor just to be a servant in the house of the Lord. So I'm not going to cry, but it is an honor. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. And so if you want more details, you can come and talk to me. I'll be glad to sit down and talk to you one-on-one. Bye.